Welcome back to another episode of the Top 5 Sports Podcast. My name is Matt, along with Brock. Brock, how are we doing today?
Great as always.
There we go.
Great as always.
Hey, we got something a little bit different for you guys today. We're taking a little bit of a break from the NFL, as we've done with our previous couple of shows. Today, we are going with something that no top 5, no matter who you ask, could possibly be the same, I would imagine.
I think we would have similar, could potentially, just different, a lot different orders.
Yeah, well, I mean, and there's so our top 5 today. We'll just to shoot out there, the most difficult sports. Now there's different variations of that. Obviously, you have some sports that are more difficult physically, mentally, skill wise. So however you want to take that, there's some people who consider esports. I couldn't hang with them. I don't even professional NBA 2Kers, bunch of tryhards, but not difficult physically. So there's a little bit of everything there. I don't think me and Brock will have too many similar ones. I'm thinking we'll probably have two of the same on our lists, but we'll see. Again, every week you guys can check it out. Find us on YouTube, Top 5 Sports. Check us out on Twitter, top_5_sports. Every week we're going to have a new top 5 or multiple new top 5s. NFL season coming along, so it's going to be dominated by that. But just like this one, we're out there to provide the content for the people. If you guys want to hear a goofy top 5, which we'll do every now and then, top 5 game day foods. In a previous life, me and Brock have done top 5 cheeses, and that's caused a little bit of friction in our friendship.
No,
because cottage cheese.
Right.
Cottage cheese is trash.
It's not
trash. So whatever you guys want to hear, just let us know. Go ahead and tweet at us, comment on the videos. Those of you who know us personally, send us a text message. Tell your moms, grandmas love us. Again, as you found out in previous lives. So let's get at it, Brock. I'll kick us off.
Yeah, go for it.
Keep on rotating here. So top 5 most difficult sports to play. My number 5 is something that I've recently picked up over the last few years. Not good. Not the worst in my friends group, I don't think. Although that's debatable. My top 5 hardest sport to play is golf. It's you, your clubs, and the hole. Just the difficulty of hitting every shot consistently. I've realized that the only people who make fun of golf are the people who really have never played golf. Going into it's like, how hard can it be? I'm a baseball player, swinging the golf club. It's not like a baseball bat, but my grip and my swing, it's a baseball swing. And I've just realized even when you get the ball close, you get lucky and you get the ball close, putting hard as hell. And then that doesn't even bring in, the elements, the wind, the rain, the
mental side,
the cut of
shots.
The cut of the grass. If you're playing at a golf course that's not maintained very well, good luck finding your balls. You can hit a solid drive and if the grass isn't mowed right, you're not finding your drive. Or the difficulty of actually tracking your balls. That's something that's an underrated part of the difficulty of golf. So golf is my number 5.
Yeah, I mean, we both have started picking up golf, and it's just like, it's a lot harder. Like before, we were just, messing around playing when we played golf. Now we're actually kind of trying. We're older now, wiser. Yeah. It's a good day out on the course, drinking, having a good time, but at the same time trying to play some good golf. And it can be very mentally taxing because you hit a couple bad shots, there goes your hole, and then potentially could be your round.
Yep.
And it's a lot. It is a lot, but I enjoy playing it. And I think one of the biggest gaps of amateurs to professionals, I think, would be golf, because it's very hard. If you look at us compared to guys who play in college, it's crazy. But then you go from college to pros, and there's a whole different level. It's crazy. I like the pick. I like the pick. My number 5. Pretty basic. I'm going football. I think it's one of the harder sports to play. Very difficult. A lot of skill. Like, you can be a freak athlete and still be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because I want to hit on Jalen Smith. Freak athlete. Mentally did not know what to do. Like, we expected a lot out of him, and he just blew it.
Yeah.
You play college football, you think you're all hot and mighty. You get to the NFL, you get humbled because of how much preparation day in and day out goes. I mean, you look at the busts. Why are they busts? They're not mentally ready for the NFL. Like, you look at Jamarcus Russell. You get a big
not mature.
Yep, not mature. Get a big payday. Think you can coast by because you did it in college. Now these are grown men that are flying around and ready to take everybody's head off. So I think, and I mean, another thing I think about all the time with football, it's such a diverse sport. If you look at a couple players I want to mention, DK Metcalf, massive human being, brick shithouse in the NFL, and then you go get Rodrigo Blankenship. I mean, he's a kicker, but you would not even think they were in the same sport.
Coming up to the game in the Heelys.
Yep. I mean, and the kickers. We can't kick. Not many people can kick. The skill it takes to kick and punt is impressive as well.
Yeah.
So that's why number 5, I'm keeping it there. Yeah.
My number 4, and this is one where I went with a relatively specific discipline, but my number 4 is in the world of track and field. And I decided to go with long distance track, the marathoners, the ultra marathoners.
Yeah.
You know, that's a thing where they tell you, oh, it's all mental. After a certain point, you know, it's all about just continuing to go. As someone who back in my younger days, you know, I used to run 5Ks a decent amount.
Did you?
I felt my legs a whole lot leading up to, you know, right before I got married. I was running a lot, you know, just trying to make sure I was fitted for my suit and all that, best shape of my life back then. But you know, I felt my legs burning all 6 miles or whatever it was. So like long distance track, 26.2 miles and above. The mental fortitude, the endurance, the stamina that it takes. You know, not physically hard you don't have to be a certain build to do it, but physically hard. Just the long-term toll that it takes on your body is something that I don't think I could ever do. I could practice golf for 20 years and eventually become a solid low-level, you know, amateur. I could never run a marathon, I don't think.
I respect that. Like, that is a very, very hard sport, and the mental side of it, like even the triathlons is like, I would have more fun doing a triathlon, but that is a ridiculous amount because I can't run that much. I'd rather bike and swim.
Yeah,
but everything else, no. I mean, I understand that wholeheartedly. It's not on my list, but that's tough. That's a tough one. Number 4, keep it in the same family, rugby. You take away the pads. These guys literally take each other's head off. And you have...
That's figuratively, not literally.
Seeing a guy's head almost come off, it looks like. Clotheslines. You have...
Tomato.
You have people like... I mean, rugby players don't really succeed that much in the NFL because it's a totally different style. But that you put them on special teams, run through people, and just make a tackle, they're good for it because that's what they do. You have to be good at everything in rugby. Everything. You have to be able to pitch, block, run, scrum, everything. And whatever size you are, like there's 300-pound men running 4.8,
4.5s,
yeah, and they're just like brick shit houses, and they just run through walls, and they have no regard for each other. Like like they don't have, like they said, they don't have pads.
Yeah.
So it's football without pads and a bigger ball. Everybody's playing.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It is tough.
Yeah. When I get bored certain times of the year, you see rugby on like NBC, like I'm watching it.
I'm checking it out.
Yeah. My number 2 and 3 are maybe a little bit controversial. I think the people who do these sports would say, oh yeah, we're the hardest job, whatever. My number 3 is hockey / ice sports in general. And this mostly comes from the fact that never been ice skating. I think I would break my ankles if I tried to
ridiculous
skate on a freaking knife, for God's sake. But so like hockey, not only, ice skating, but ice skating with precision, speed, and power, and then still trying to, like, we played floor hockey in gym, and I was just awful at that. And then the other ice sports side of things, like figure skating, like those dudes are like the guys, at least, they're like lanky, powerful dudes. Like they think, oh, they're these scrawny dudes. Like you got to get a bunch of power in your legs to jump up and twirl around 4 times in the air and not shatter your ankles. So hockey / ice sports is my number 3.
Yeah, you talk about figure skating. I mean, it might not be the hardest, but technically speaking, it is very hard.
Yes.
Because, like you said, they're falling down on knives. And,
yeah.
And if you fall, you got to finish your routine. You got to play it off like nothing happened. Yep. Yeah, that's very impressive. My number 3, you said controversial. I said mine is also, I would say, a little bit controversial. Some would say no. I would say a lot would say no, I would think. Number 3, I have mixed martial arts. From the physicality, the mental, the training camps that they have to do to cut weight or build weight and maintain that, to make weight for their fights, title fights, and then go in and beat each other in the face. And there's so many different styles of fighters. If you're Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo, straight up wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, all into one, and expect like UFC style, like you bring everything to it. I mean, even if you want to go boxing, you can't just go in there. You see like these wannabe fighters nowadays, like Nate Robinson getting in the ring, and like, oh, they're athletes, so they can fight. But when you take a punch right to the chin from someone who's might be doing it a lot longer than you, if you think you can just go in there and succeed, you have to put a lot of work into it. And I mean, these guys dedicate their lives to just fighting, and I find it one of the most impressive sports because you also have to be flexible and pain tolerance. Their pain tolerance has to be top notch. If you're damn near knocked out, I mean, or choked out, like we've seen some my co-host over there, I've seen him get choked out. And it's impressive.
On purpose. I gave myself up.
You did. I'm not gonna say that. I just watched you get choked out and did nothing. You said, "Hey, let's do this." Yeah. And you did it. Old Sus.
That's right. Shout out Sus. Got a fro now.
Yeah, love it.
All right. My number 2 potentially couldn't go any further away from MMA.
Oh, my number same.
Auto racing.
Okay.
You think like I think about myself. Again, this is me. When I'm in the car, I gotta have stuff to drink. Like if I go on a long car trip, 3-4 hours, I have to stop at a gas station at least 1 or 2 times because I need stuff to drink. I gotta go to the bathroom. I hate driving in traffic. My speedometer, like I set that thing. It used to be 73 in recent years. That bumped it up. I don't go any faster than 76 on the interstate. People drive like a bunch of idiots. Like it's one of those things that someone who's hit multiple deer. I've been hit by one deer and I hit another. Like my not my instincts, my reaction time, not great. These guys, like they're going 200 plus miles an hour and if their reaction time is a half of a second slow, they're in a wreck flipping over 34 times. So again, and then you do kind of have to be in physical shape for that. Like these guys lose, like technology has gotten so much better over the last few years with the safety side of things for these drivers. But there's some people out there who don't even know how to drive. Yep. Yet there's these dudes doing it at the peak level, and whether if it's the NASCAR side of things or the Formula One side of things, equally as impressive for different reasons.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I won't put it in my top 5 just based on it's the driver, but it's a lot of the whole team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the driver doesn't have to do everything.
Let me see you change 4 tires in 2.8 seconds. Like
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I can do that.
All right.
What
do we got, Brock?
My number 2 might be a little out there. It's an Olympic sport. Water polo. The endurance to swim for that long, and you're swimming back and forth, and then stopping in positions and trying to throw a ball while getting tackled underwater. How you don't drown is impressive, because I'm messing around with my friends in the pool, and when we used to dunk each other, you'd try to breathe real quick, and
yeah.
Drinking all the water. I couldn't imagine doing that for hour and a half, 2 hours while trying to swim, and they're tackling each other, and just I don't know.
I get winded walking up the stairs sometimes.
Right. I get winded just thinking about doing that. Like It's just like, I think overall I think that athleticism is so crazy. So that's why I put it at number 2. Because I don't think I would see anybody else, like any athlete, do that.
Yeah.
You got any honorable mentions before number 1?
Honorable mentions. I think there's a lot of like there's so many sports that are just like, I hate to say weird, but weird. They're exotic sports. Like you mentioned pre-show, like steer wrestling, or like
ain't nobody gonna do that.
Bareback, was it bear bronco, rodeo, like that's tough stuff. Like there's so many exotic sports, some sports that just never even heard of. There's some stuff that's, again, more physically demanding. I'm not a good badminton player, so I suck at tennis.
Tennis is tough.
Any of those, but my number 1. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I had golf.
Yeah.
Mine. And baseball.
Yeah. So my number 1 is something I've stood by for many years. Throughout high school, I played football. I played baseball. Since high school, I played golf. I try to play tennis every once in a while. I got tennis rackets to go mess around with the nephews and my wife, playing tennis, whatever. Played basketball for fun. But my number 1, the most difficult sport, in every aspect, is baseball. Between the hitting side, try hitting a 99 mile an hour fastball. You might get lucky and foul it off, but then he comes back with a 78 mile an hour changeup or curveball and just buckles your knees. Or let a pitcher come inside on you and then stay in the box and take a swing. Brock's MIA there a little bit, but even from the pitching side of things, you try to throw with pinpoint accuracy a pitch without it getting just absolutely crushed. And then from the defensive side of things, you're playing the hot corners. Let a ball come right at you at 100 plus miles an hour off the bat, or scooping a ball at first base, or your reaction time, the angles you take if you're in the outfield, or or playing as a catcher I played catcher one time in practice in high school. Thought I broke my toe because I missed the ball and it bounced off the tip of my big toe. So Brock's having a hard time here. So he's crying a little bit. So Brock,
yeah. Sneeze. I sneezed. Really choking on these chips that I was eating earlier.
what do you got?
I have baseball. Baseball is up there. But the reason why I never picked baseball as the hardest sport is because we see the multi-sport athletes. You got Dion, you got Michael, you got
Don't put Michael in the same category as Dion.
No. Okay, sorry, but professional athletes play baseball. You want to go Patrick Mahomes, you want to go Kyler Murray,
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, they have played it, and they were successful. Like Tom Brady was an early round pick. Kyler, what was Kyler, the first overall or second overall pick? Like
first rounder. Yeah.
So that's why I have a hard time putting it there. I understand what you're saying with all the difficulties of baseball as a sport because I had played it. But the reason why I can't put it that high because of the fact that NFL and like NBA athletes have played it and have been successful in it so much that they got drafted by 2 teams and they chose not to play baseball. They could have probably made more money in baseball, but they just it's the sport.
Understandable.
It's the sport that we live in now. It's not a fun game to watch, you know. That's why they're trying to speed it up and make all these different changes for fans to be more engaged in it. Now, I do love me some banana ball, though. If you watch that's some fun baseball. Okay, my number 1, ice hockey. By far, hands down. The physicality, the skating while hitting, shooting while you are getting hit. The goalie's trying to catch a puck that is going 140 miles an hour while you have somebody standing in front of you. You can full-on fledged fight in the middle of it, and they don't really, whatever. We've seen it. People have almost died playing hockey. You see when the skates come up and slash guys' throats, like it happens. The toughness of these athletes will literally, they get teeth knocked out, they go back, get it fixed, they come back out.
Psychopaths.
Yes, it is a bunch of psychopaths playing. And the craziest part is there are guys my size, 5'6", 160 pounds, some of the best players in their sport.
Coming right at you.
And they're fast as shit. They're going against Chara, who's like 6'8", and beating him. Like, and you see these guys in street clothes, you would never know they were hockey players or professional athletes, just based on they all look huge on TV while you're watching them. They take the pads off. They're tiny. They burn so much energy and sweat so much in short periods of time because it is so physically demanding. I just don't see how anybody could go play hockey if you haven't played it from the beginning. There's a lot of people that, I have never played basketball before, and now I'm one of the best players in the NBA. Or they go to college, like these coaches find them. They're 6'8", never played a lick of basketball. They come in, they know what they can get coached what to do. If you haven't played hockey, you're not going to know how to play hockey. I'll tell you that much. I played roller hockey, and it was the hardest thing in my life. I couldn't move. And it was so hard. And these guys are like accurately hitting corners. Sometimes they play. You hit the pipe, you score. I was like, how do you guys even aim for that? And it's just the most impressive thing to ever to be like a part of and actually see like firsthand how good these athletes are and top tier. And nobody's gonna go play hockey because the ice. No one can skate.
Yeah.
No one can skate. Like I can take somebody from baseball and they can go play basketball, football, same thing. Or these guys are going to, so and so is our number one pick. He's got to throw out the first pitch. It looks great. Or take some BP with the team. Looks great.
No, it looks terrible.
Some people, but there's a lot of people that are good. There's not a lot of people good at hockey, and that's my.
Gotta get them Canadians.
That's me on my soapbox.
Yeah.
With hockey. I'm not a huge fan of hockey. I don't watch it all the time, but I respect the game because it is ridiculous to play.
Yeah. All right. Look at that. We had one similar in our top 5. You had golf in your honorable mentions.
Yep.
So like I said at the beginning of the show, this is something that you could ask 1,000 people, and if you ask them to come up with their list separately, you probably wouldn't have any be the same. There's all these exotic sports. There's people who, if you ask a baseball player what about the hardest sport is, he might not say baseball. He might say something else. Or the guys who are multi-sport athletes, they may say something just way out there. And a lot of it's where you grew up too. I joked about Canada. Canada is known for developing hockey players. You ask someone from Canada go and try and ride a horse and do some equestrian sports, maybe not as good at it. It's a weird example, but it's what I'm sticking with. So again, check us out on YouTube at Top 5 Sports. Check us out on Twitter, top_5_sports. We'll be getting this video uploaded here soon. Check out our other videos. We have our Week 1 locks, as well as our top 5 for MVP and Offensive Rookie of the Year. As always, tell us what you want to hear. We're a show for the people, by the people. So whatever top 5 you want to hear, just let us know, and we will get to it. Got anything else for the people, Brock?
I do not.
All right.
See you guys next time.
Yeah.